Vikings: Wolves of Midgard is a new action RPG developed by Games Farm and published by Calypso. Let's play the demo and see if this game's any good. So we'll start with the character creation screen, and you have two choices here between a male and a female. Now she's called a shield maiden, he's called a warrior, but they're really the same character, just one's male, one's female. You have all the same options for weapons and classes. If you want to call them classes, it's not really a class system. It's more like a deity that determines how good you can become with certain weapon types. So I played the warrior the first time, so this is my second playthrough. I'll play the shield maiden. You have a few options on hair. Jewelry. Now right there it looks like, you can barely see it, but it looks like her earrings changed. Get some necklaces. And you have three hair colors: blonde, black, and ginger. I find that kind of odd that they said ginger instead of red, but okay. I'm going to go with blonde, and then you can get tattoos if you'd like. I'm just going to stick plain. And then your clan symbol, this little banner over here. And this comes up every time you have a checkpoint. Aside from that, I don't know what other purpose it serves. You have a handful to go through, and I don't know if you have any more options in the full game. So let's start with what we have here. I'm just going to go with this. And now here's something I don't really like. You have to pick your deity now. I know some games kind of will make you make these decisions early on, but like Tyr is the god of one-handed weapons, more or less. So if you want to specialize in one-handed, and not dual wielding, one-handed, so you could equip a shield if you'd like, and you want to use Tyr. Loki, he's the dual wielder, so you need two one-handed weapons. Thor, which I used the first time I played through, is the god of like two-handed weapons. Of course, he's best known for his hammer, although I thought Thor had a one-handed hammer. And here's one for bows. Well, you have to make that decision now. So before the game even starts, you need to know what kind of weapon you want to specialize in. Now you can add another one later, as like you have two weapons, you have an alternate weapon setup. So if you decided you want to do something different early on in the game, you could pick another deity, and I'll show you that later when we get to the first skill ups. Alright, so this time I think I'm going to go... Actually, I'll go with a bow. This is the only ranged weapon. There is staffs. Maybe I didn't go far enough. Okay, Odin. Now, he specializes in staffs, but they're not like magic caster staffs. They're just fighting staffs. So the only ranged weapon I see is bows. So I'll go with that. And so it says I'm a warrior level 1, even though before she was a shield maiden. And we'll start a new game. We'll play on normal.
Time is neither wheel nor arrow. It flows like a river with all its whirls and torrents. Now it flows towards icy death for all the 9 worlds. War reigns in Asgard above us, as the ancient conflict between the gods of Aesir and the angels of Vanir erupts once more, while below us, in Niflheim, the frost giants unleash the great ice upon the shores of Midgard. It is their vengeance, the harbinger of Ragnarok, the end of all things. Who would have thought that Ulfung village, home to outcasts and renegades, would give rise to she who might save us all? The village had the misfortune of being in Grimnir's way. The giants had no quarrel with the Ulfung, but that was about to change.
Okay, so the movement system is with the mouse, your basic carrot on a stick. You know, she'll follow the mouse cursor around. Now there's two different types of control schemes here. So you get this dodge attack. You have a roll, they call it a roll, it's basically your dodge. You can use that with the WASD to pick a direction, or it'll just roll. I'm using the space bar. It'll just roll toward your cursor. So I move with the left click, and I attack with the right click. So basically, that's how you have a stationary attack, because there's no key to force you to do a stationary attack. So let's look at those control options. So I have control scheme 1. Left mouse moves, right mouse attacks. But the other scheme is left mouse moves and attacks. Alright, so there's nothing there, so I can't attack. But the roll would be the right click. So for a bow, I think you're better off having the stationary attack feature. Otherwise, if you miss a click, you're going to end up walking instead of shooting. So let's switch back to control scheme 1. And I can kind of keep the left mouse button down and then just hit the right, and I'll start shooting arrows. Now these little red orbs, these are blood orbs. That's what gives you experience. So over here is my experience. I'm level 1. So they heal you a little bit, and that's how you level up. So you got to make sure you collect those after you kill things. And I want to look over this map really good. I'm supposed to kill 30 Tomties and collect 3 iron skulls. And I think last time I missed one of the iron skulls somewhere. There's treasure chests that are kind of hard to see, scattered around. See, there's a treasure chest right there, and it's easy to miss it because it's not really labeled or anything until you mouse over it. I got an iron skull. And some things are destructible. You want to get resources. You're going to need wood and iron because there is crafting in this game. Use roll to evade enemy attacks. Rolls require stamina. So if you're using armor and a shield, I know shields have a roll penalty, so you roll shorter distance when you have a shield equipped. I'm trying to keep it so these things are highlighted. So there's a toggle, or maybe there isn't. Alright, so it's on. I thought it would stay on once I toggled it, but I'm not sure now. I don't like to have to press a loot button after every time I kill something. Alright, so he didn't drop anything.
I will teach you the folly of your ways!
And I don't know if I really like this rolling stuff too much either. That's going to get kind of boring after a while, having to constantly roll out of stuff's way. It'd be nice if they gave some kind of a block attack or something, maybe if you had a shield or even a parry move with your weapon.
Why would giants attack Midgard?
So I do have a skill here. I forgot to even look at it. Let's take a look at what that is. So they're called gifts. This is basically your skill tree. So this is what I have. It's kick. A hard kick which sends the target flying back, damaging any enemies in the way. So it looks like there's 3 level tiers on this. You can get one at level 1, 6, and 11. It'll unlock. And rage, I think everybody, yeah, every class, or every tree has rage. So that's something that once your rage meter over here, when that gets full, basically it boosts all your attacks. Try my kick next time. I guess I can't use the kick. Wait a minute, maybe I can. Alright, there's the, okay, so it's like a roundhouse kick. I'll give that a try. I forgot to even use it. But let me go back to that a second. So I picked this deity And this is the skill tree. Now you can pick another one for your offhand weapon. Not offhand, but alternate. So if I wanted to go with Thor, say I found a good two-handed weapon, I could put points in this tree and I could change over. I don't know if you'll get enough points to really fill out 2 trees, so you're probably going to want to decide to specialize in one. But you do have a second chance then to use a different weapon, as long as you don't go too far and you spent all your points. So like right here I have the bow, and I could switch to a one-handed or two-handed or some other kind of weapon if I want to, and I could pick another deity. But I'm going to stick with the bow. If I do find something good, I might use it alternately. I'm not really sure.
Death awaits you.
Forgot to use my kick again. I want to try it on something. There we go. Couldn't tell if it worked or not. I'm not used to rolling. I tend to want to just click somewhere and move out of the way.
Praise Odin, you returned at last. Jotun raided our village. He slew the chieftain and most of our warriors. Oh, I barely escaped, but perhaps there's still hope for the Ulfung tribe. There are still a few survivors left. Slay the attackers and save the Ulfung tribe. Here, take this healing totem. The old chieftain will not need it anymore.
I hope it serves me better than it served him.
So I have a healing totem, and this works like a healing potion would, except for you're limited to the number of charges the totem has. So R to heal, and it's gonna see I have 3 charges on it. It's gonna make me use one up right here. Okay, so now there's only 2 charges, but let's take a look at that. It's already in its slot. So it has 3 charges, and each heal is for 441 hit points. Now when you use them all up, you have to find these little, they're like braziers, and they can refill your healing totems. They're scattered around the map. You'll also heal when you use it, and it recharges. Now there are different versions of these laying around. I did find one that also had hit points on it, but it only had 2 charges, but they were stronger charges. So there's a lot more versions of this around. Alright, so looking at the character sheet, my damage per second, 124. So normal attacks, and I don't know, there's a difference here. There's weapon damage per second. Damage the specific weapon can deal during 1 second without character modifications. That's a little different, so that goes to 77. Now main hand, which I'm assuming is my bow's main hand, that's even lower. Oh, maybe that's the damage range. 48 to 54 damage. Critical chance 2%, and critical damage is 2.6 times. Attack range, I'm assuming that's 10 meters. My attack speed is 0.65, and I think that means 0.65 of a second. I don't have any resistances, 100% stamina regen, and next level is at 200 blood, and I only have 64. And when you do get enough blood, you have to find this place to level up. There's these, I don't know if they're shrines, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're specific places you have to go to do your level up. I mean, the combat's okay so far. It's about what you would expect out of one of these top-down action RPGs. Here's one of those braziers. I'm not sure what this is called. Let me see. Find out in a minute. Oh, healing altar. Okay. So I can get my. I'm not even going to use that right now. I have to come back over here later. So I'd rather just wait until I actually need some health instead of wasting it now. I don't know why I'm doing such little damage. I don't think maybe I'm not hitting clean.
God. Go. We can rebuild later.
So they'll mark things you need to know about on your mini-map. There was a gold mark where this lady was. That kick doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage. It didn't even seem like it did a lot of knockback. So there's this like big scythe or something over here on the ground, but you can't pick it up. It's not actually loot. And I think this game's going to be more about crafting than it is about finding loot. Because you need to collect iron and wood, some other resources.
Our clan will fight on until every one of us has drawn our last breath.
Aye, we should get to the meat hall, or what's left of it.
There's a treasure chest over here, another thing that's hard to see. You'll come to recognize them though after a while. Alright, so I got 2 of the 3 iron skulls. So I don't know if I'm missing one, because I know last time I played I didn't get the 3rd one either. Unless maybe this guy drops it, I don't know. Let's see. It tells you a little bit. He has poison resistance and physical resistance. So it's nice that it at least tells you what to expect. It'd be nice also if it told what kind of damage he did, so you would know what kind of resistance you needed. So I got a blue mallet and a whetstone. I'm not sure what that's all about. And I might have enough experience to level up. We'll do that after. Okay, so the map's cleared. Now I'm going to refill my healing totem. So I was awarded a rune, and these can upgrade some weapons and armor if they have a rune slot.
They met that day to choose a new chieftain, but there could be only one choice. The Shield Maiden, who had slain a giant and even driven the enemy into flight. Under the command of the new chieftain, they rebuilt the village. First, they rebuilt the altars, where the clan could dedicate the blood they had spilled to the gods and goddesses of Asgard and earn their favor. Nearby, a tent to house the Skald, who would salve their wounds and write poems of their glorious victories. Last, they rebuilt the armory and smithy, so that their new chieftain might have weapons and armor to aid her in battle. But where to take the battle? That was for the chieftain alone to decide.
You have proven yourself in battle, my chieftain. But if you're to survive this winter and against strong foes, you'll need better protection. I don't have much to offer right now, but help yourself to what I have in the smithy. Many great warriors died today. May they feast well in Valhalla. However, our stocks are ruined, meaning we cannot feast as well here.
There is meat and wood in the fjords. I will make it safe for those who lack my talents. Ah, not killed a yokel before. I suppose it might be interesting.
I'm going to run over and level up before I talk to this weaponsmith and the armor smith over here, because you might have some level 2 stuff that I can't use, so if I level up first, I'll be able to use it. Okay, so this is your altar where you have to sacrifice your blood. Sacrifice blood at altars to level up. Gain new gift points with each new level. Each god grants different gifts, so I still could add another god. I probably could add all the gods if I wanted to, but I'd never be able to fill out all the trees. Upgrade altar to access more powerful gifts. So you can only gain so many skills from this altar, so it has to be upgraded so that you can get the higher level skills. So I can't upgrade it. I would need 12,000 gold, 330 iron, 880 wood. But, you know, I have nowhere near that. But I don't need to go to that point yet anyways. So I'm just going to level up. So what I can get right now is I have 1 point. It'll give me 1% health. I can get 1% damage. Everything's 1% except armor. Armor gives you 2% for some reason. So that sounds like the best return for my money, or my point, so I think I'm just going to go with the armor. And using a bow and not having a shield or anything, my armor's probably going to be light, so I'll take the armor upgrade. So now I want to go back and talk to the weaponsmith. Alright, so I also got 2 points to put into gifts. So the kick can't be upgraded again till level 6. Rage can't be upgraded till level 5. So this is my only option right now. Health bonus. You get increased, I'll have plus 60 health. So right now I'm at 803 it looks like. 863. So I still have a point left, and I can't use this until level 3. I can't use that till level 3, and I can't use this till level 7, so I really don't even have any place to put that point unless I wanted to pick another deity for an alternate weapon, but I'd rather just save the point until things unlock. Alright, so that's going to be good for now. Let's talk to him.
You need weapons?
The smith crafts weapons in exchange for resources, so that's why we got to pick up all this wood, iron, gold, and something called Jotunjarn or something. I'm for sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. And the smithy needs to be upgraded too, so he can make better weapons. Alright, so right now I'm using bows. Let's see what he has available. What I have in. I guess this would be considered a white bow. It's 48 to 54 damage. And I don't know. This has some green print on it, but I still say that's probably a white bow. I'm not really sure how that works. And there's only 2 I can even use here. I don't have enough gold for some of them. So that one's 95. This one's 107. And it has higher damage. It's slower though. The speed is 0.8. But it will get it says 1 or 2 random effects, so it's going to have some other stats on it. So let's try this one. So you just double click it. You want to craft the hunting bow? Yes. Alright, so it ended up being a magic bow. This may be blue, considered a blue item, not really sure. Has 5% critical life steal, so I'm assuming on a critical hit, I get 5% of that as health, maybe. And critical chances are only 2%. And it has 2 rune slots. Let me get out of here and put it in. Double click it to put it in. Now I do have this 1 rune. If I put it on a weapon, it gives me an extra 1.03 damage. If I put it on an armor or a shield, it gives me longer rage duration. But the thing is, I think you need an NPC to put this on for you, and when I played through this the first time, I didn't find that NPC, so I don't even think I can use this. Now I do have a pretty nice hammer here, so in order to put that in, you have to switch to your alternate setup and double click it in. Alright, so now I have a hammer offhand. I don't really think I'm going to use it, but I'll have it equipped. I have another healing totem, and okay, so this one heals for 741, but it only has 2 charges. But that would be almost 1500, and the other one would be only 1300 something for the 3 charges. So I get more health out of this one with only the 2 charges. So I'm going to put that in. Whetstone Amulet. Critical chance +1, but what did I take out? Usually that stuff I find goes in automatically when you pick it up. So I'm surprised that wasn't in already. Okay, so it increases my critical chance +1. I was at 2.6, I guess, or at 2, sorry. So it looks like I have a 3% critical chance now. And I'm not sure what these other things are for, it just says collectible. And there's no vendors in here yet. I'm assuming like this person here will become a vendor maybe later in the game. So let's go look at the armor smith.
Good to see you.
Can craft helmets and shields, armor, helmets and shields. Alright. So helms, I don't have enough money for any of those. And I'm short gold for everything. I do have the other resources. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the first, they call it a raid. I call it a mission. So I'm going to move on to the first mission. Everything's marked with that gold. You see on your map down here. It's a pretty good map system. Alright, so I only have one available.
It is unwise to let a yokel live near you. The old chieftain thought it best to leave a frost spirit for the summer hunts. Now, with the food stores destroyed, desperate action was required.
Okay, so I'm in like this frozen waste area. I don't know if I want to call it a wasteland or not, but it's a frozen land. And let's look at something kind of neat that they did here. You can get, there's environmental effects. So see this bar down here, it's filling up. It shows that I'm getting cold. When it gets to the end, it'll start depleting my health and I'll die. So you have to try to keep going, finding these fires to warm up. So they have a thing called exposure resistance along with all your like elementals and poison. So I have 15% exposure resistance, and that's on my leather vest. So that'll protect me a little bit from exposure. So that's kind of a neat thing. I don't know. I know there's some zones I guess are going to have heat or poison. I don't know what else there's going to be. So I think that's kind of a neat idea. So you're battling the elements along with the monsters and whatever attacks they have. Okay, so you can see the big map. It shows where everything is, but it doesn't really show the path. So I guess I'm going to start working my way around this way. Now this symbol down here is kind of telling me that's where the boss is. So I'm going to try to end up there last. And I should be able to get a level up along the way. Alright, so I'll start off in this direction. Oh, here we go. Exposure is hostile effect of the environment. Cold, hot, poison, etc. So potentially there's some other things too. So you got to find safe areas. So the campfire for cold. Now I don't know what a safe area would be in something that's too hot or whatever. Find out when I get to one if I decide to get this game. I gotta get used to this roll mechanic. See, I can't hit him. I'm on the wrong level, I guess. There's a treasure chest. There's a new health totem. Let me check that out. It's blue. Could potentially be better than the one I have. That. That looks different. And this one, I don't... Okay, so this isn't the same thing. That's a healing totem, and this is a health totem, so it's something different. It gives me 200 health and 20% stamina regen, and that goes into place of that whetstone. I'll put that in. I'll take 200 extra hit points. Alright, let's move on. Make sure you grab all those blood orbs. So the bow feels a little bit slow, but I guess that's to be expected with a low-level bow. I'm sure there's going to be some really fast ones later, I would think.
Might have to learn to live with fewer fingers.
I think already I kind of like the bow better than the two-handed hammer I played through with the first time.
But do not test my patience.
Gotta remember to use my kick. Yeah, a little bit of knockback. It's not real big. And I forgot, let me check the cooldown again. I wasn't really looking at it close. Alright, 4-second cooldown. I can't hit him for some reason. And those birds are kind of hard to hit when you're melee. So there's a fire. I think I was starting to lose health there. I wasn't watching close. And I just got a helm, and it went on automatically because I had an empty slot. Worn chain helm, armor 15, gift cooldown 5%. So your skills here are going to recover 5% faster, which probably isn't going to be noticeable on a 4-second cooldown. Now in here there's these levers, and there's a little bridge somewhere that will allow you to get to a chest, but you have to trigger several of them. I'm not sure how many it is. Worry about that later. So I'm going to, instead of going forward right now, I want to go back and hit this area I didn't do, and then I'll move on. I want to keep an eye out for destructible objects, and you're going to need all the wood you can get. Grab my blood. I don't really like having to go chasing that stuff down. I'd rather that you got to maybe have a button that sucks it all in for you, or just automatically picked up. My rage meter's filling little by little. Has to do with, I think, how much damage you do. So I don't want to go down there. I want to try to get to this other fire.
So cold.
I can't stop. Yeah, here we go. I couldn't stop to kill the rest of those because of I needed to get to this fire. All right, so here's a treasure chest. There's some worn chainmail. Just take a look at it. This has 3 rune slots on it. Not that I can do anything with it. It has minus 15% movement speed. The one I'm wearing is minus 7. It has higher armor. Gift cooldown 15%. That would be nice, but it doesn't have any exposure resistance. And I think even though I have only 15, I think that's better than having nothing. I think there's another lever. Yeah. Alright, I want to go back and just make sure I killed everything over there. I want to try to get enough experience to level up again.
Victory shall be mine! I am unstoppable!
So, missed a few things here, I think. So I'm almost back to where I started this level at. Make sure I'm not missing anything hidden. Alright, so this is the original fire where I came into the game. So let me open the map. I'm going to split this demo up into 2 parts. It's definitely over an hour. So I'm going to break it off right here. This is a good spot. Come back for part 2 and we'll finish it up.